We are all right. We here at the Check Rock Podcast where we cover all things basketball and we challenge you to what we actually do, Chip.
Check rock.
We got my co-host as always here. We got Chip Green. We got the moderator, DJ A Squared, aka A Boogie. We gonna keep this thing going on today. What's the first topic?
All right. First question: will the G League be the new path to the NBA with the incorporation of the G League Ignite? Excuse me. Go ahead, Chip. You got the first one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're doing an amazing job of growing it, which sucks for the NCAA and things overseas. But these new guys are coming in even better and getting veterans in there as well. They're making it more a complete team. And I think the younger guys are now going to learn how to play the game even better. I was a big fan of the D League and G League, as it's been going on for years. I used to go to a lot of games and watch a lot of guys how they do their work ethic, how their work ethic is, how their pregame routines is, and how much it really translates to the NBA. And like I said, it's growing and it's doing an amazing job. These young guys out there looking really, really good. It shouldn't be hard for them to get a job here in the near future.
I think it all. This is the most important time for this experiment because you got kids that are not in there to get called up. You got kids that's in there trying to get drafted. So if these kids all go in the top 10, that's the NCAA sphere. So if Kuzaminga, I can't say young boy name, but Jonathan, Jalen, if Nix can play himself from the number 37 player, that is really scary because Darren Nix is playing really good. The kid I think he's from Baltimore. If this kid Nix can play himself from basically a regular college player to being in the draft and being in the top 20, if he can go top 20, it slays a ground for the next group. And I think that this could be a great route to, I agree with Chip because I think this could be a great route to mature our superstars. So the kids won't be coming in not knowing how to play the pro game. They'll be already ready to play the pro game. Of course, they're going to have to learn how to be NBA players because that's just you don't know that until you get there, until you get on that floor. You grow that as you go in time. But my main thing with the G Ignite is that you can send a kid from 12th grade and he can literally learn how to play the program. And the best thing they did was put an NBA head coach as the coach and a coach that coaches you hard because Brian Shaw coaches the hardest. He has 3-4 hour practices and he does stuff that normal NBA teams don't do. So they're going to be coached on an extreme level. They're training camp every day. Then you got vets like Jared Jack, you got Amir Johnson, you got good guys down there to help them learn. You got Michael Beasley, you could teach them what not to do and tell them like, yo, this is what I did wrong. You guys don't follow that path. And then they can see how good these guys really are. And they're learning with them every day. So they're not just throwing them to the water. So I think this is the best thing to happen to prep basketball in a long time because you got something for them. Yeah. And they can be paid.
I'm going to disagree with y'all. I'm reading the question. I don't think y'all answered the question. It says, will the G League be the new path to the NBA?
To be honest,
meaning, hold up, y'all talk. Meaning, is this how you're going to get from high school to the NBA?
Right.
And the reason I said I don't agree with that is because the path to college is too ingrained into people's minds. You're still going to get most of your players coming out of college.
And I don't really disagree with that. However, I will say that, especially as a coach, like I'm really watching the total disconnect from players to the college game. Like it's really not translating. And those players don't want to play for a lot of these coaches.
I would need to know where you're getting that information from.
One as a former player, one and
I'm a
another
former player as well, and I don't feel
one
that. I don't.
one from just watching the game and how it's a disconnect with how they run systems and schemes versus
Like what
is it-
what is showing, what is proving that, what is showing you that there's a disconnect between
so for example, like if when you at G League or when you in the NBA, if we're allowed to do certain things, like the freedom of play is very different from how it is in college. The freedom of play is very different, and then you limit guys. You limit a lot of like college basketball has really limited and messed up a lot of talent, and so
and it's
now
also enhanced and made a lot of talent better to where they got to the NBA.
I'm not saying that it don't. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm also
Yeah, so
saying,
if it's, and like I was saying, so if both sides can take place, I guess what I'm getting at is there's no glaring proof that anything is different from college basketball than it was before. The fact that kids leave earlier, is just a product of the fact that they're giving out money to kids earlier.
well, the fact that
I don't think the game or the experience is any different in college.
yes, it is. The game is so slow in college.
Okay, but slow doesn't translate to you not being able to play in the NBA.
No, slow just translates to I'm not able to play the style of play that I like to play, which is why I would prefer to go to the G League instead of
I
going.
guess what I'm saying is the majority of people aren't going to the G League. So that's what I'm saying. I don't see that.
All right, this is where I'm gonna take the last word on this because I agree with both of y'all. I honestly agree with both of y'all. But my personal opinion is that the G League situation is going to be created for the stars that were basically going to come out of high school. So if you were one of those kids and that's a minority, and that's
so
what,
literally,
that's why I said
literally the answer to the question is no.
So in closing, with the answer to the question, no, the G League won't be the main protocol for kids to go to the NBA because it's only going to be 20 kids that probably could really do that physically. Physically, probably be 20 kids every year.
So it's 20 kids every year, and you only
the first round is 30. The first round is 29 picks.
That's what I'm telling you. So
wait, there'll be hold on.
Not all going to the first round.
Let me finish. So if there's there's 20 picks in the first round, and also there's 20 something picks in the second round. We won't until I see a draft. Just like high school, people's like, oh, is everybody going to come out of high school? The most picks we ever seen in the first round of high schooler was 8. I think 8 or 9.
And let's not do this either. You're diminishing college.
Yeah.
College, no, wait a second. College is more than playing basketball, and a lot of people need that. And I guess the most glaring thing to me is, even though this is the first year for them, when they put the mock drafts up, the number 1 players coming from college.
Yeah, number 2 player coming from college too.
Okay, Cunningham, yeah, all right.
Cade and Jalen Suggs, number 1 and 2.
Now watch this, and I have no problem with that. Nor do I have a problem with these guys getting their education. I'm all for that. I'm a
product. Getting education, Chip.
No, that's what I said.
You get it real. Cade Cunningham ain't getting no education. I
agree with both of y'all. That's why I said I believe that if this was next year, I believe that Cade Cunningham doesn't go to college. He takes that 60 grand.
And I guess this is what I mean. There's a difference. We still got to understand people.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham didn't need 50,000 to 60,000 this year.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Kuminga from the Republic of Congo, definitely needs $60,000 this year.
Yeah.
So it also becomes your role in life. And because you're giving me a year just to go play.
No, I'm giving
worry-free basketball. I got money. I can have some fun in college. That appeals to some people.
That's why I said the one thing that helps is, if my personal opinion, the one thing that will help this whole situation is if Knicks. I think Knicks is the most important person in the situation because Jalen Green and Kuminga already were like top 15 picks.
You do understand that Cade Cunningham was asked to come to the G League.
Yes, he
And he
was
didn't.
actually in the league elite.
So
Yeah.
that right there is my argument.
But
The
that-
number
but-
one player chose not to go.
But this is year one, and
I
some
know, I get it, but you're going to have people who choose not to go.
it's a lot of things that go in it. First of all, and this is what I mean by how these kids is about to really blossom from this. When you look at it one way as, all right, I got asked to go, but I need to see it for this 1 year and see how it goes. Opposed to these kids who are understanding that, listen, I'm gonna get the development right now. I'm gonna get in that weight room right now. I just want to worry about basketball, and this is gonna be my career already, and get this every day, and find a vet like Jared Jack that's gonna really work me out and push me.
I tell you this is funny though. I would be hard pressed to believe when you said the whole workout and that part that their stuff is better than North Carolina.
I think their stuff is.
I doubt it.
No,
I think the G League.
I doubt it.
Wait. We're gonna be honest. We're gonna be
The
real.
G League team having more bread than Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah, we're gonna be. Wait. We're gonna be real. We're gonna keep it real. No, we're gonna keep it real on this podcast. North Carolina and Duke weight program is probably better than most G League teams.
That's all I'm getting at. That's the only question I had.
We're gonna be honest with that because the G League elite. When I've been around some G League teams, I've been around the Delaware team a few times. They do not have the best weight program. They do not have the best development programs in the world. They don't have a weight room. They don't have a facility. A lot of these G League teams are still getting facilities and start getting to this. Hold on, wait. Let me finish real quick. Let me finish. But with this situation, this G League elite team, they made sure that these kids had access to all that stuff.
No, bro, I'm not disputing it. I'm not disputing any of that, but I'm just going with it's hard for me to believe.
That's one team. But this team was structured, and these kids also have to go to school, and they get the equivalent of a college. That's why I said this situation is amazing. This situation is amazing. But
and don't get me wrong, if they do that for all the kids, I would be the first person out there. Like, man, don't go to college. They're giving you the same thing right there in a couple of hours.
But you can't. It's 300 something universities. So all these
it's hard to bring a 17-year-old on a college campus and then have them not come back.
Yeah,
that's a tough sell.
A lot of kids. The most one and dones, because I believe they'll start another team. So at best they'll probably have 20 guys. All 20 of those guys don't always go first round. So the reality of it is that the first one that stock drops from 5 to which happens, your stock drops. You're playing in D League, they get to see you all the time. That's why Cade Cunningham was like, yo, his agent, which he has an agent, you're allowed to have an agent as a freshman in the NCAA now. His agent probably was like, yo, dude, you might not want to play down there because they're going to see you 35 times a year. That's another thing.
Bro, they're going to see you 35 times a year where you at now. You can't like you can hide. Bro, TV's a TV. You playing the same game.
Yeah. It's a little bit different though.
But
yeah, I don't think it's going to be the new path exactly because we talk majority, but for the one and dones, the special guys, I think that
would be a better question. For your one and dones.
For the special guys and the one and dones, it'll probably be the path.
A lot of one and dones going straight to the G League, which loses star power for college. But fortunately for college, it's a lot of good basketball players out here. So they're gonna find another.
I mean, you played, Chip. You know, there's gonna be a bunch of dudes that get real good from 19 to 21.
Absolutely,
it will help, and I also think it will help college because it gets rid of those guys and it allows the guys that are there to be there to develop. It will allow to
exactly. That's the one thing college is missing and been missing is the development of the kids.
Because those dudes kept leaving. Yeah, I agree. Because the dudes kept leaving. I agree.
And then you getting so much disconnect because guys is just gone. You getting all these transfers. You getting, hey man.
I don't think that makes it a disconnect from the game. I think what you're saying, the cohesion that teams used to have is gone, where you can have these long-lasting programs.
Yeah.
But I still think individually every year they ball, within that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, we're gonna move on to question 2. All right. Even though he had a slight issue while he was in, who was he at? Cleveland?
Yeah.
Gave my dog Locker up. How they
All right.
lose?
Well, Kevin Porter Jr. get a shot and bounce back in Houston. Scooter, you got the first.
I don't know if it's Houston where he bounces back because I don't know if Houston. I don't think Houston owns their rights because he went to the Grand. He signed to the Grand Valley Vipers or whatever team that is. So I don't think Houston Rockets own his rights. I think he'll be scanned throughout the NBA, but I think he'll get another chance in the NBA. He a big dude that could score. He's a 6'6" guy that could score. Like those dudes get another chance. He'll get another chance with another team, and he went right to the D League and does what he does, score. So eventually somebody's going to call him up. We got COVID existing right now and all this stuff. And he's 19, 21, and he's been good. Like, he's been good. He was like one of the top players in the nation when he was in high school, and he's really good. Like, the kid could play. So somebody going to let him play basketball somewhere in the NBA. He going to get another shot. I don't know if it's Houston, though. I don't know if it's Houston, but I know he gets another shot.
Did he get traded to Houston or did he get traded to
He
Houston?
was released. He was released.
And then Houston picked him up. I could have sworn.
Grand Vipers picked.
He was actually traded to Houston.
He was traded to Houston.
He was traded to Houston.
Then was he released?
No, he wasn't released by Houston.
He
They
was
just put
traded to
him in
Houston.
the
Then he
team.
got sent down to the G League team. So that's what he's
Oh, he
at.
on assignment. Okay. I just read it. He's on assignment. Oh, yeah.
That's why he's about
He'll get caught up. I used to Victor Oladipo hurt. He'll get caught up.
exactly. He's getting his reps right now.
He'll get caught up.
Cleveland dropped the ball. Cleveland dropped the ball on this, and that just goes to speak for Cleveland. But Houston, on the other hand, a great city where they are allowing a lot of opportunity to guys that want to play hard and work hard and earn a living. And I just wish the best for this kid, man. When you got a 19-year-old kid in your locker room, man, you got to teach him how to be a professional now. And whatever happened, I just hope that he learned from it and he learns how to be a professional and he keep putting that hard work in. And I hope, and it's going to pay off. I hope he understands that, and I believe he's going to bounce back. And Houston is a great city for him to bounce back at.
Only thing I'm disagree with you on, Chip. He bought that.
He bought that. He put that on himself. They ain't
Yeah, like don't get me wrong.
They tried.
It is Cleveland. It is Cleveland.
Take my
But
life.
there's only so much that you can say to certain people, and then we all get mad. But we all know we all got a boss.
Yeah, whatever. Well, don't
when your boss come in the room, might be time to chill, bro.
no. Don't
Okay, well, then you're gone. So you can't. It can't be. I mean, no problem. If you choose not to chill, they're going to get rid of you. So
Kevin
we can't put that.
somewhere else.
We can't put that on nobody but him.
And
I think this kid has to take this as a lesson learned.
Yeah, he got to take that.
And that there's our powers, that there's our players that bigger than you, and also when you're 19 or 20 and the dude in front of you is 19 and 22, how many of these guys do we have a time for? They also held him down. He caught a case. They held him down due to the gun case. The gun case got dismissed. They didn't release him because they could have released him as soon as he caught a case. So Cleveland, we can't put it on Cleveland. Did they not mature his talent how he chose? That's not their responsibility. Did
you specifically read the incident that happened, Chip?
Then he got caught with a gun in the car, and it was somebody else's. He had a license to carry or something like that.
We passed the gun. The locker room incident that got him released.
Oh, he was wild. He was wild on the locker room incident. He was wild.
Huh?
You didn't know the gun? You didn't know the locker room incident?
Yeah, he threw his food.
Yeah, he threw a tray of food at the coach, bro.
Right.
You can't do that.
You can't play no more.
You can't do that.
You a coach. You know that.
Oh,
You bringing somebody back to throw a tray at you?
hey.
Please don't say you're gonna put your hands on a player because that don't work like that.
I would never say I will put my hands
What you
on.
gotta do?
So my question is, would you bring him back to play with you?
No food on you. What you gonna do?
So the reason why I'm laughing is because I don't have my own locker room issues with food. I have had my own locker room, and I wasn't kicked off the team
With the coach?
Yeah, it was head coach, and we best friends to this day. And he
They valued you more than the 13th than the 10th man. He was the 8th or 9th man on that roster. They valued you more. I'm thinking if Colin Sexton would have threw the tray,
was y'all in the same? Yeah, was y'all in the same boat like as players? You and Kevin
Was you
Porter?
a nice man, or you coming off the bench?
So at that time, okay, so what happened at that time, I started, but at that time I was coming back from knee surgery.
So you were a
You
starter.
was a starter.
You were a starter.
I was a
You were
starter.
a value. You were a value member of the team.
Yes.
I mean, but
Developing
You
member of
understand the
the
difference.
but,
You
but
understand
no,
the difference.
at that time I was only playing like 3 minutes. Like they would.
Okay,
because
but
you were coming
because
back
you
off.
were coming back from an injury,
Yeah.
you understand
Okay.
the difference.
You were a commodity.
Hey, I that's why I'm laughing on it. I hear it both ways, but you don't disrespect the player like that by giving up his locker. You don't do that. You don't.
No,
you don't.
do-
You don't
do,
tell
bro. Okay, at the same time, you're absolutely right. But
I
you
agree.
realize with life, as I've been told a bunch of times, and getting to these numbers with you again,
Right.
but
Wow.
10% of the situations and 90% of how you handle the situation.
I
He
completely.
did not
that's
have
why
to, he didn't have to return fire with food, bro. You
and
know
with
that as
all-
well as I
with
do.
all-
I
with
did.
all respect to Kevin Porter.
You got me.
And then when they call your big balls down, you might want chill.
Hey, you got me in Cleveland. Get me out of here. He got out of there. So I wish him the best.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
I
was.
do too. I do too.
I wish him the best. I definitely wish every young black brother the best, and I hope he
Best.
gets it out. But also, this is a sign for you, Kevin Porter. This is my message to you. Out your own way and go be great. And stop causing. Don't cause it anymore. Just know that the NBA is bigger than you, bro. It will keep going. It will keep going.
All right.
All right, move on to our next question. Number 3. Giannis said the Jazz are the best team out west. Are there any real contenders that we have in the West besides both of the LA teams?
That's funny. I remember sitting on the shows and telling people to watch out for the Jazz because they was able to make a run. And I had to sit down and I thought to myself, like, is it real contenders? And it is. The Jazz is one of them. Another team is Portland is one of them. These guys are contenders. They've been in the playoffs before, and they've been going on a consistent basis, and they can make a run. But we just need to see it here when the playoffs start. Can they do it? But yeah, they can definitely contend. I don't know if they can beat these teams though, but they can definitely contend.
I believe the Jazz will go as far as Mike Conley can lead them. If Mike Conley could come and be an all-star in the playoffs, they got a real good possibility of being a finals team. Because you're not, and I told you they're ankle slip away. The ankle slip might have happened tonight. All of a sudden, Anthony Davis got injured. We don't know. He's going to be playing banged up during the playoffs or any time in the league. He might be playing banged up. So if Anthony Davis gets out the way, they got a good chance. And their strengths are the Clippers' weakness.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers can be beat by any team with a guard. That's the only thing I say about the Clippers. That's their one problem is that they can't guard explosive guards and they can't match explosive guards.
Mm-hmm.
It is Kawhi and Paul George they are still 6'7" and 6'9". And 6'7" and 6'9" just don't match up with 2. It's just a big difference. Like 6'7", 6'9", unless you LeBron James, really ain't guarding those 6'2". So at the end of the day, yeah, I think they real potential, and they're playing so well together. They got good play, but if Conley has to be a star at least 3 games out of a series. 3 games out of a series, he has to play like a star.
So
and I don't know if I'm betting my money on Mike Conley, and that's Mike Conley, one of my favorite guys in the NBA.
So you don't think Spider could be a superstar?
Huh?
You don't think Spider will be a superstar?
Yeah, I'm throwing that superstar word around so loosely. I don't think there's that many superstars. No, I think he scores the basketball. He can score, but it's been proven that this man has 60 points and they lost in a playoff game. So you have to go beyond scoring. He only had 10 assists one time in his whole career. So if he can get you assists plus points, because that means he has to make other guys better. If he can make some other guys better during the playoffs.
So he don't make the other guys better?
No. He scores. That's his job.
Talking about.
He averaged 5 assists. He doesn't make anybody better. He never had a 10. He had 1 10 assist game his whole career. One.
Excuse me. You realize LeBron James never averaged 10 assists once his whole career?
LeBron. Wait.
English. He just said Donovan Mitchell had 1 10 assists.
1 10 assists.
You just said LeBron James only averaged 10 assists one time.
You don't have to average it to get it consistent.
No. Donovan Mitchell, out of all of the games he's ever played in, he only had 10 assists one time. Please don't bring up LeBron James when trying to discuss that stat. That made no sense.
Hold on. What I'm getting to is he does more than just pass the ball. Bro,
All right.
you realize
He may be on his way to be a superstar. He may be on that way. He's not there yet. He's not there yet, dog. You throw around superstar. He's a good basketball player. He's scoring some points. He averages 24 points a game.
You put Donovan Mitchell in the same sentence as LeBron?
You're not going to just cut me off. You're not going to.
Wait, you put Donovan Mitchell in the same sentence as LeBron?
I'm not trying to. You just going there. I'm not trying to. I want to finish and just let me finish, bro. Do you realize if they are going to win or contend, he has to be a superstar? You're talking about somebody, an older veteran guy who's not even playing right now. Oh, he's got to come back and be the all-star. No, the reality is, if they're going to win and contend, the Spider is going to have to be a superstar. That's just fact.
All right, I correct my statement. He had 2 games with 11 assists.
All right, you going with 2 games with 11 assists.
And they were all this year. No, wait. They were both this year.
We got to put a disclaimer on this joint to let you know that when Chip refers to a superstar, it might not be to the level of that anybody else holds superstar is anybody that's good at this point.
You better not go there. You better not go there.
Is anybody that's good at this point, bro?
All right. If they're going to contend, he's going to have to be a superstar.
They're not going to contend for a while because he's not going to be a superstar by the end of this year.
They contend every year. I believe they contend every year.
He's not going to be a superstar by the end of this year. So if their contention is contingent on him being a superstar, they won't be a superstar. He won't be there.
I disagree. I believe he's.
And I believe that they do it by. I think you take away from committee. They do it by committee, so they all have to be on their A game. Like Bogan has to be on his A game every night. Joe Ingles has to be on his A game every night. All of them have to be on their A game every night. You can't have a C game.
I guess just so I can get some context, and since we're talking to the public, so the public can have context.
Okay.
LeBron James is LeBron. Who's the best player in basketball? LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Who you say?
All right, you can say either one of them. I don't care.
Are they a superstar?
Are superstars. They are
they're a superstar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell is also a superstar?
I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell is a superstar right now. That's not what I said. I said if they're going to contend, he's going to have to be a superstar. I tell you what, during this run, he's a superstar. During this win streak,
I think them as a team they're doing it as a collective because
superstar is something that you can hold a superstar title for 10 games.
No, what I said to you is, if he plays like he's playing right now, he'll be a superstar this season. He'll be an all NBA player and a superstar this season. Right. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, so
superstar is it's like an interim thing. You can you can be a superstar for a little bit of time and then like a star, and then you're like a superstar, but then you're like a regular star.
No, so basically when Shaq rounding him up, he was basically saying, listen, you got to do whatever it takes for your team to win.
Shaq said what me and Scooter are saying. You're not a superstar.
You're not a superstar. And since then, okay, he's turned all the way up. And
he's
Shaq
doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing he was doing when Shaq says something. When Shaq said, wait, hold on, wait, because I watch Utah play. When you were watching the Nets, I was watching the Heat Utah game last night. I watched that game. He literally had 13 points.
They dubbed.
Wait, listen to me. They ran off a run.
Superstars get past double teams.
They ran off a run, Chip. They ran off a run, and he had a point where he scored 13 points. But they already was in the run, and he scored the 13 points. He had a terrible game against the Heat last night. They still were up 20 while he had 13.
Okay.
They do it as a collective. They do that as a unit. That's a whole squad, and we have teams like that. That hold on, Chip, hold on. Wait. This only statement I got. Utah has to play as a collective to win a championship. As a team, you don't have to have one player to be a superstar to win a championship all the time. You can do it as a collective. We've seen teams do it as a collective. Golden State was doing it as a collective before they got Kevin Durant. They were doing it as it was us as one, 10 guys, 9 guys playing as one because they had to all chip together to do what they did. But last night, Donovan Mitchell had 26 points and he shot 3 for 12 from 3, and he shot 9 for 21 altogether. And last night he just wasn't playing well, but those guys held him down and did their job. And those dudes do their job and play well every night. And that's what his every night. Rudy Gobert is bringing them 4 blocks, 3 blocks every game. He's bringing them 16 points, 12 rebounds, 15 rebounds. Rudy Gobert dominated that game against the Heat. Literally dominated it.
So this is where I go and I tell you that he does more than just score.
You didn't watch the game, so how are you telling me that he does more than just score? I watched that game.
You're talking about one game, boy. I'm talking about.
I watched more. How many Utah games have you honestly watched this season, Chip?
I've watched a couple Utah.
How many?
I can't name on my hand.
How many Utah? Because I watched 12.
That's rough right there. I'm gonna go out there on this limb, Chip. People don't be signing up for Utah Jazz games. That's why I literally was gonna come in on this question and say I could care less because that's how most people feel about the Jazz.
Yeah,
so
nobody care about
you
Utah.
watching Jazz games, bro?
But on the flip side, again, I was the one a couple weeks ago already saying, "Hey, you need to watch out for the Utah Jazz." Before the
before we recorded our pod, it wasn't a couple weeks ago. It was about a month ago.
Okay, so again, I was the one a month ago already saying, "Hey, yo, you need to watch out for the Utah Jazz."
And that's fine. That's you throw statements in the air. That's fine.
No, I don't throw statements in the air. I know what I'm talking about. And I remember last year too when I told you Jimmy Butler was a superstar, and you were sitting up there. He's not a superstar, and we watched him cook repeatedly, night in, night out, till you had to eat your words.
Now that I know that superstar is an interim title, because he's talking about the same dude that was 0 for the first 2 months from the 3-point line.
So Jimmy Butler is not a superstar.
I was gonna say, I guess it must be interim because when you go over 30 from the 3-point line when you start off a season, whoo, I don't know too many superstars that do that.
Hey.
Okay, Jimmy Butler is a superstar. He had 15, 8, and 5 that night. And they lost by 20 something.
Let's go back again. I'm gonna say this again. He missed his first 33 pointers this year.
So Jimmy Butler not a superstar?
No, Jimmy Butler not a superstar.
Jimmy Butler was never a superstar.
Group of people. No, he's not a superstar. He's a star. Stars are good. Stars are good sometimes. Stars have amazing nights. But if you have a star as your player, you need a Bam Adebayo. You need a Goran Dragic to play good. You need a Kendrick Nunn to play good. You need a Tyler Hero to save you certain nights. Guess what Kevin Durant don't need? Kevin Durant don't need nobody. He gonna get that.
Butler's a very good basketball player.
He's a superstar.
Jimmy Butler's a very good basketball player. He falls
very good basketball player. Great basketball player. That's superstar level to me. It's only like 6 stars.
You're throwing superstar around. You giving that joint out like a stimulus check. So here, take the superstar status.
No. You gotta understand basketball. A guy who can do.
I do. That's why I do. That's why I'm not giving everybody superstar status.
Like both ends of the floor. Hey, bro, they are more.
It makes him a very good basketball player.
That makes you a good player. It makes you a star. It makes you a star. Oh. Is that wrong? Is there anything wrong with being a star? Do we not have levels to this?
I guess that's my next question. So I asked you earlier about who's a star. Can you give me somebody that's a star, just like a regular star, not a superstar? I need to find out kind of where you're.
CJ McCollum.
Who?
Victor, they stars. They're not superstars.
CJ McCollum?
Yeah, CJ McCollum's not a superstar. He's a star.
Okay, so you're giving 20 dudes superstar status then. That's what you're doing.
I'm giving 20 dudes. I told you I stopped around about 10 to 15 superstars.
Wait, 10 and 15 are two different numbers. Is there 15 or is there 10?
It could be, you know what? I believe right now is 15. It could be easily 15 superstars in this league.
Hey, that's fine. That's your bar. That's fine.
Okay. You saying
we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's your bar. It's 15.
All right. Speaking of I guess non-superstars, Bradley Beal, agent, has released a statement. And I guess I'll put the statement up. Is there any place in particular that we would like to see Bradley Beal?
Yes, I would. I would love. First of all, I want to see him with a contending team because I do want to see him get the excitement and the pub that he deserves and get his shot with a winning organization in the locker room wanting to win. So if it was a place that I would say I would like to see him in Milwaukee, and in my own, if it was a perfect world, I would like to see that Chris Middleton trade, and you get Bradley Beal, and he get a chance to play with Greek, and he get an opportunity to show how good he really is, and it's deserving, and I would be happy to see that. I'm pretty sure other people would be happy to see that, and give him a shot. He deserves it. I want to see that. I don't like seeing him miserable in DC, losing most of the nights. I don't like to see that. I think he's better than that.
All right. The question was, is there a team we want to see him play with? I'm fine with Bradley in DC because I pay $50 a month for League Pass. I got the premium League Pass. So my selfish privileges wants as many good teams in the NBA. And as long as you got a Bradley,
I can't hear you.
As long that people can hear me.
I can't hear nothing you saying.
People can hear me. Chip, let me finish talking. The people can hear me. It's something going on. They don't.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. We're fine. But let us keep going. Just listen. Just listen. You don't gotta listen. Just let it go. Brad Beal. If there was a team I would like to see him play, I would like to see him go out west. If there was a new team that I would like to see him play on, I'd like to see him go out west, and I'd like to see him on Denver. You know, I want Denver to give up a lot of guys for him. Like I would love to see him play with Denver, how they set up now. If they could just give up like somebody small, like a Bobo or something like that. I like that situation for him more than anything. But I really don't want to see him go nowhere.
That's weird to me. Like I don't have I can care less where he goes.
His agent released a statement and say he is a loyal guy.
And I'm not one of these people. I love basketball to death, but I also love $60 million extra. So if the man is gonna get $60 million extra to stay in Washington, I would advise him to stay in Washington. That's the only.
I think it's like 90. I think it's like 90.
Like 90 million? Like, yeah, that's not even
like 90, yeah. So
like that's a no-brainer.
And I don't want anybody to sit here and judge Bradley Beal for taking $260 to stay with Washington and change his whole family's life, because at the end of the day, he's not getting that in endorsements, or there's no way he's making up $90 million in his career to play basketball. So, and at the end of the day,
y'all can hear me?
Yes, this is we gotta be a train. But this is at the end of the day, this is what's it called? This is business. So I'm not mad at him for getting as much money as he can possibly get for his career to play basketball. And also, Washington seems pretty loyal and they're going to try. That's one thing about Washington. Washington and Detroit, they're going to try. They're going to put I've seen Washington put Chris Webber, Dwight Howard, and Rasheed Wallace on the floor together. They're going to try. They're going to spend that money.
Very true.
I ain't never seen Washington be under payroll.
How about that? Well, now they are.
They over payroll. No, they got that Russell Westbrook contract with Bradley, and Bertans got like $70 million. They got a bad product and still over payroll. My man just started to put that bread out.
All right, we're gonna move on to question 5. All right, so once again,
Chip is having technical difficulties, y'all. Just bear with him.
Ben Simmons says he feels like he's the best defender in the league. Do we agree with that? And Ben made that statement to the Philadelphia Inquirer. You want to answer that one, Chip? You get the question?
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, first of all, kudos to Ben for taking on the challenge of wanting to be the best defender in the NBA. And he's working hard to that. Just know that you in a city where they respect blue collar hard workers. So if if you going hard and you locking up, they're gonna respect it. If you getting cooked, they're gonna come at your neck. So, I mean, you put yourself out there, and I think time will tell when we get in these playoffs who you ready to lock up. And so just remember when you're in these playoffs, lock up, clamp up. And if the Sixers go to the finals, yes, you're the best defender. If not, then we know what's up. So bear down and lock up. That's all I want to see, dog, in the playoffs. I can't even answer it right now. I'd rather see it in the playoffs. And that's just that. It'll tell me everything. The playoffs.
All right, I feel as though honestly, I always tell everybody, I said there's 3 dudes in the league that can switch almost every position except for and 2 of them can't switch to 5, and it's Marcus Smart, Draymond Green, and Ben Simmons. Them 3 dudes are probably my 3 best perimeter defenders, and I think Ben is probably better than both of them in the essence of the fact that Ben can go to 5. Ben can go all the way down to the 5, and he can lock it up simultaneously. Like he don't, and in the NBA, you're not locking anybody up. That's the kill that rhetoric. Because if you think you're gonna lock me up and I could take 42 shots, ain't no way you locking me up. I'm just gonna keep shooting the ball, and that's what Kawhi Leonard actually did to him in Game 7. He shot 42 shots to get 37 points. If I make you shoot 42 shots to get 37 points, by all means, I tip my hat. I'm a great defender. So I think Ben Simmons has matured into the point where he is the best defender in the NBA. And he should, if he stays healthy all year and gives this energy to the defensive side of the floor, he will be Defensive Player of the Year if he continues on his path. I also believe that my city of Philadelphia, because I don't think they respect defensive players per se. I think because I've seen perimeter defensive players be run out of town consistently because of shooting woes, which I seen it with Andre Iguodala, I seen it with Robert Covington, and I think the same thing's probably going to happen with Ben Simmons because we are the most spoiled city outside of LA when it comes to basketball, because I told y'all in the last pod, the 2 most marketable players of all time, 2 of the top 10 most marketable players both played for Philadelphia. Allen Iverson, Dr. J, and 3rd, Charles Barkley. So if you're not scoring buckets at the end of the day, we care, but we don't care. Ben, and that's why I said, Chip, you have a great point in making. If you make the championship, we will respect that, and we will respect you as a defender if you win a championship. But I respect him as a defender now, and I don't care if he wins a championship or not. I think he's the best defensive player in the NBA. I don't care whether he goes to 2nd round, 3rd round. That don't matter to me as long as you do your job.
I think I definitely
and word from North Philly checking in here real quick. If we gonna throw the Philly perspective in there. Watch when you say it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because he made the statement. What was the date on the statement?
They lost 2 in a row.
Well, it wasn't necessarily they lost 2 in a row. The date on the statement was February 12th. Well, on the 13th they played Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Devin Booker cooked him. So all I'm saying is, bruh, if you're gonna come out to the paper and say you're the best defender in the league, do it before you play the Timberwolves. Do it before you play the Orlando Magic. Don't do it when Devin Booker coming, bro. Because regardless of how good a defender you are, this dude's about to cook somebody. You see what I'm saying? That's all I got.
It's funny about it. It's funny because like he takes the matchup, and they did the advanced stats on that. And it's funny how Devin Booker scored 13% of his points on Ben. so dudes literally do be
no. And here's the thing: it was when he scored the 13%.
Yeah, definitely when he scored 13%.
He scored the 13% in the 4th quarter when they was down and they went back up. So like, what? I'm not knocking Ben. No, I'm not knocking Ben. Ben he plays defense better than anybody. I just it's always something with that dude. Like, bro, you come out and say something, and it was just your timing, dog. You should have said that you was the best after that game. You had 2 days off.
Right, and that's why I try to get a benefit of the doubt. Like, you know what? I'm gonna just say I'm gonna watch it in the playoffs because I don't even want to talk about these last 2 games. I don't even want to go there. How Book hit that thing from almost half court. You're supposed to have that hand up, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna say, you know what? When the playoffs come, we're gonna see. Yes, you can switch everything from 1 to 5. You're absolutely right. Now, do I put him over Kawhi Leonard and Paul George?
Yeah.
No.
Definitely I'll put him over Kawhi
No,
Leonard.
I don't. I don't, and I'll see in the playoffs.
I think offensively they're better than him, and when you can play, I think when you can play offense and defense,
Right?
I think that they're better players than him, but defenders
They're not better defenders.
they're not better defenders than him.
I'll see
But your offense becomes defense because if I could score against you, that means you have to guard me. The one thing you don't have to do against Ben is guard Ben. He's trying to figure out to make you. Doc Rivers is doing the best job possible as making him an offensive
because
offensive person as possible because he's putting him in a post now more than ever. He's taking him off the ball a little bit. If people noticing, they sneaking him off the ball.
I seen the weirdest play in the world. Like he came down, he gave the ball to Embiid on the block, and Embiid just got kind of pushed out. So he dribbled a little bit. When Ben replaced him on the block, he just dumped it back down. I was like, "What are y'all two doing?" They was just literally throwing the ball from the foul line to the block, and I was like, "But you know what? Why not?"
Right, you're taking advantage of a mismatch.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was the man who was literally sticking Ben Simmons the whole time. Was down there with him. It was just the spacing looked terrible, and now for some reason my center was feeding my point guard in the box on a weird angle. But when I thought about it, as long as the pass made it to him, that was probably the best position for Ben to be in with the ball.
Right, he's 6'10". He's still 6'10".
We're gonna keep it real. Forget the 6'10" part. That's where he can make the shot.
Where he can, we're 100%.
We're not gonna do that, Doug. Like, come on.
Before we end this, Doc Rivers did come out and say that he sees Ben Simmons as the caliber of defender as Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen. And
he said the only person that you could compare him to was Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, and I believe that. And I believe
Worm 88 Rodman.
88, yeah, Dennis Detroit
Pippen. Diving out of the bounds for the ball. This ball.
I gotta see.
Yeah.
I gotta see it in the playoffs. This one is gonna count.
So. I mean, he defended in the playoffs because he made Kawhi Leonard shoot 42 shots to get 37.
Hold up, wait a second.
The last shot on
I can tell if you can play defense. I can tell if you can play defense in game 52, bro. It doesn't have to be in the playoffs. We know if you can play defense.
Yeah, it's just the playoffs is just when you
can't score in the playoffs. That's the problem. It's not about him defending in the playoffs. He can't score. That's his problem. Is that the fact that he can't score? That's what hurts him. Is the fact that he can't score.
Sometimes you got to take him out.
Hey, but then you ain't the best defender.
That don't have nothing to do with
No. You understand? Like you have specifics. Like you can rebound, you can dribble, you can pass, you can perimeter defend.
Hey, Bruce Bowen was one of the best defenders. But he
okay, no, stop. You were right. Say it again. Say it again. What you just said.
But Bruce Bowen
was what?
The best perimeter defender.
Well, stop. That's it.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
You about to add something that means nothing.
No,
Bruce Bowen was one of the best perimeter defenders. Stop.
Yeah, but you got
the shot has nothing to do with perimeter defense. Stop.
I'm just saying. You had to take him out the game. Like you can't come out the game if you're the best.
Well, no, all we were talking about perimeter defense, bro. That's it. We're just talking about perimeter defense.
They used to take Dennis Rodman out the game when they needed some buckets from Mark Aguirre or Vinnie Johnson. They would go super small sometimes. They didn't always have him in the game. They had Ben Line in the game.
Ben Simmons come out. They're gonna lose.
That's why Dennis Rodman was coming off the bench.
Well, they're not taking Ben Simmons out of the game anyway.
That's what I'm trying to explain. Like you ain't taking.
Well, it ain't because of it's because they just who the hell else they putting in.
But I'm trying to explain. Like you in the game, they need you to be in the game. You got to be able to find somewhere else to score so you can be the best defender. Find out how to what's your niche.
No, I agree with that. Find a way to stay on the court on offense so you can be there for defense. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Playoffs, man. Talk to me in the playoffs. I'm gonna see how you look.
You're not dumb, but you can't dumb a whole 8. And this is what I was trying to tell you earlier. 82 games means something. So we got basically like, we might as well say F the season, yo. Like I might as well just throw away my league pass, stop paying for that. I might as well stop watching games, period, and not watch the game until game 80.
We're gonna move on to that. We're gonna move on to number 6, but I'm gonna leave you with this one, Chip.
Yeah.
It's funny how Kyrie Irving 82 game stats count.
What do you mean?
Because when we talk Kyrie Irving, we talk
Kyrie Irving. You tell me about his 82 game stats. You ain't tell me about no playoff game stats because he ain't got many.
No, excuse me. All right, you say what you had to say. I always tell you about the 3 championships in the row and the championship that he won, and then I go to and look what he's doing this year. He's having the best year of his
It's
career.
funny. I think you're the only person that ever equates him to 3 championships in a row.
Hey,
we going back to YouTube.
Steph Curry.
Back to
Steph Curry having his best season.
no, but you want to go first on this?
You already answered, Chip. Go ahead.
No, he's not having his best season. I know statistically says he is and all of that. No, they're not winning. It'll be a frustrating season, but I will say that he's really trying to figure it out, and his game is his game. Like, he's that good. He was getting better already, but he's not having his best season. But he's definitely cooking this year. Not trying to take away from any of that. He's cooking. He's doing his thing, but not somebody who's used to winning MVPs and winning championships. No. But it's good to see him on the floor doing his thing, though.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Any dude that's won an MVP, he getting mud stomped right now. So you said it yourself. He got jumped the other day. So like, he got numbers, but I wouldn't give anybody else that kind of credit, and that's Steph. And I'm pretty sure he not giving himself that credit as having the best season either. So
this is not Steph. I agree with y'all. This is not Steph Curry's best season. This is not Steph Curry's best season because honestly, he's not even averaging his career high. He averaged 30.1 that year. He had the most efficient 30-point season ever in the NBA history. But this is one of his funnest seasons to watch as far as just watching him play night to night and see when he do night to night. I can easily say this is probably – I've been a Steph fan since Davidson. I really like Steph Curry, but I didn't see him eclipsing this level that he's eclipsed, and I salute him to eclipse this level of being this type of player. But this is the best season I've watched him play as far as having fun watching him play since the first year he made the playoffs.
You talking about you having fun watching him, or he's having fun?
This is my favorite entertaining wise season of watching.
That's weird though. Like, that's hard for me to wrap around because he not having no fun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen,
I can't. Yeah, that's hard right there, bro.
I like watching him face immeasurable odds. I like every night
he's not overcoming them. He's
the night every win he got this year is hard.
Okay, but he's not overcoming the odds though.
No, he's not.
It's just literally watching him fail.
He 500. He almost played. He's one game under 500 right now. One game
literally watching him fail. How is that fun, bro?
I don't think I'm watching no fail. I think he playing hard.
No, we're literally watching him fail, bro. No matter how you put this, he's failing.
Steph,
the dude that we've been watching play is not. He's not winning. He's not winning, and he's a 2-time MVP award winner. He's a winner.
I was talking about individual performances. Every night he put on a show, individual.
That means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing, bro. Like they're so hollow, and if you can't, if they're hollow with Cat or somebody like we talked about that with Chip earlier, then they hollow with him too, just because he's Steph.
I don't think they. I said I don't think they hollow.
They're very hollow, bro. He's not winning. You're just literally just shooting.
Yeah. And remember when they was saying that you basically can plug anybody in there for Kevin Durant, and the word
nobody ever said that.
I never heard anybody ever.
I've never heard anybody say that.
We going next show. I challenge you to pull up some quotes on people saying that, and probably the people who said that are probably people that don't know anything.
I've never heard anybody say that.
I've never heard nobody say they can replace Kevin Durant with anybody. I never heard that. So
ever on any level, anywhere, because that is a crazy statement.
That's
nobody.
That's no. Just take my challenge. Pull up the quotes.
We're going when we get off of this. We're going.
No. You're going to pull up the quotes, and I will see them next week on the show.
Okay. As said by no one ever, Chip.
All right.
No, they can replace him with anybody. No, nobody know that.
I hear you.
But I mean, no, this stuff. I mean, answering the question is not Steph's best season.
You have to go to a 73-win team. You can plug anybody in. It's too easy. It's easy.
No, nobody ever said that.
Said the dude at the barbershop that you know. That
No.
at the barbershop.
No,
Nobody ever said that.
the outlandish stuff that I be hearing. And
You heard
Where?
that.
Where did you hear this?
I
Where
mean,
do you hang out?
Nobody.
Whose conversations are you involved in?
Yo,
Like, come on, bro. You need better conversations.
no, listen. Y'all do like I travel a lot, so
I do too. I've never heard that.
I get it. I'm indulged in a lot of conversations. A lot of them I walk off and just be like, all right, man.
But see, I guess that's what I mean. Like, I'm not indulging in that conversation that got me to walk away from a person immediately.
The minute you say anything like that, you can replace the second best. We just said, we just said on the superstar ladder that Kevin Durant and LeBron is the measure.
1 and 1A, one depending on who you want to put it. Neither
So
one of them could ever
you
be
cannot replace the bar.
You do know one, like I never wanted the Warriors team to break up, but what forced the Warriors team to really break up than anything was the media and how the outlandish stuff that they were saying.
No, KD said it himself. When a grown man called him a bitch to his face, he was ready to go.
Oh, we know what time it is on it.
Okay, that wasn't the media.
I'm just saying, even how they ran with it, but even how they ran with it was too easy. He had to go to a 73-win team. No, he ain't had to do nothing. He made the choice to go.
The media didn't say that. The media didn't say that.
The media did say that. What we talking? Okay, I can't.
I never.
Okay, let me tell you the good thing about the media, Chip. There's receipts everywhere.
All those quotes you can
Pull up
find.
all those receipts, bro.
Okay.
I said find them, and I'll give you the last 2 minutes of the show to put up all those receipts. Please, you have Google and everything. And if you can't, bro, I need you to stop quoting people that you can't quote.
I ain't even quote nobody, so I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm saying you said
You made a
people.
broad statement that the media were making statements that anybody could have did that. That's it's a quote. You are quoting the media.
I'm quoting that. That's what they said.
Yeah, so that should be easy to be found.
Hey, watch this. I'm gonna be like the media on this one. My sources said.
No. If they're saying sources, you have to understand how media works. Media says sources because they can't say the person's name. But once they make the statement, they say their sources said that. That's their statement now. So any statement you make as a media member, if I say on here, Kyrie not a top 10 player, I said that. And you can rewalk that back and find that. You can go on YouTube and find me saying that.
But you have said that.
No, he didn't say it. I'll say it right now. Kyrie's not a top 20 basketball player.
And you're
they
wrong.
can sit out there forever. And it could be quoted. And where I mean said that on Monday, February the 15th at 12:56 a.m.
Let's like new rule. Let's get our wall ready right now so we can start posting our own stuff. So we can walk back our own stuff.
You can
create and that's a good thing. That's a good thing about me, Chip. Everything that I say is backed by actual fact. So I don't ever have to walk back anything. I only give you facts, Chip.
He's not a top 20 player.
No, that was an opinion.
All right.
But you realize there's no fact to prove he is or isn't, right?
There is no fact that proves
it's going to be an opinion.
There's no fact that proves anything. The only facts you can use. Hold on. The only facts you can use when saying somebody's a top 10 or top 15 player is if you use all MBAs.
There's and as we said before, if you want to use that as your thing, but there's no fact. There's no best basketball player.
No, because all NBA. Guess what all
best basketball player, bro.
Chip, guess what all NBA is?
And no titles. We're not using titles now. We can't use the titles. We can't
titles.
Use
titles don't make you individually anything.
It don't.
Everything that we do and that the TV does.
Title has something to do with team achievement.
Everything that people do is an opinion. When they get into who's the best player, LeBron or KD, that's an opinion.
Wait, they did LeBron, KD, Steph Curry at one point. They made
always an opinion.
There. It's
who's
all
the greatest ever. It's an opinion.
Even all NBA. All NBA. It's an opinion.
There's no way to judge these people on a scale that is measurable that everyone agrees to, so somebody's the best.
Because they do advanced stats. If you do advanced stats, Kyrie top 10 advanced stat.
It's not an individual sport.
I'm gonna use
Serena Williams was the best at tennis in a year because she won all the individual tournaments and she beat everybody, so they said she was the best. It makes sense. This is a game that involves 5 people where we're picking out a person.
12 involves 12 players.
My fault, 15.
Oh, so
That's why I said when you and that's why I said Chip. Hold on, wait 1 second. Can I get a statement?
My fault.
And that's why I said, and that's why I tell people all the time, when you start to judge players off of winning, and you start to judge players and rank them off of winning is so circumstantial, and that's a fact because literally everything has to go right for you to win. You can roll your eyes, put them in the back of your head, rub your face, and everything like that.
Please don't roll your eyes.
We just seen.
Bro,
We just seen.
Clue. I just gotta laugh.
We just seen the Toronto Raptors win a championship.
So I guess hold up. What you're telling me is there's a way to prove that somebody's better than somebody else.
And there's a way to prove that LeBron James is better than somebody else?
No, because there's some way to say, Chip.
You guys gotta be kidding me.
Chip,
We're gonna go.
Is there somebody who believes that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James?
There's people out there.
Yeah.
Hold up, Chip. Are there people out there who believe that Steph Curry is better than LeBron James?
Very small, but there's people out there
But
that
you
believe.
know there's a group of people who believe that.
We're gonna go even deeper. Is there people that think Giannis Antetokounmpo or Joel Embiid is the best player in the NBA?
They have their fans. They have their dog. You know that. They have their fans.
But
So don't do that. Like
but
some of
the-
the things that you're saying make absolutely no sense, bro. To sit there and say that you can prove it, no. That's how we feel. And there are a lot of things, and the majority of the people who understand basketball do realize LeBron is the best.
So you're telling me just because they believe that Embiid is better than LeBron, that makes Embiid better than LeBron? Is that what you're saying?
What measurable thing can you prove to me that says LeBron is better than Joel Embiid?
Talking about Joel Embiid has never been to an NBA final.
You just said a team achievement.
No.
That's a team achievement. That's why I said things get circumstantial. We're gonna go to the next topic. What's the next topic?
And that's why
Chip.
exactly why I said
Chip.
you're not going to understand it. You're not going to understand
If
it.
you say this, but how many championships?
No. Chip. The reason we're not going to understand it is because it makes absolutely no sense.
You're
Chip, I got a question. I got a question for you. When you was in a pub, when you played in a pub league in Philadelphia, what number guard would you rank yourself in the public league of Philadelphia? Your senior year.
My year?
Your senior year, yes. What guard would you rank yourself?
Top 5, easy.
What number guard would you rank yourself?
Top 5. Let me see. In the pub, my year?
Your senior year. Point guard. You just go to your position. What would you rank yourself?
3.
Okay, who are the 2 guys that were better than you?
That had a better year would be
Well,
Maurice.
2 guys that were better.
No, because remember you said having a better year means nothing earlier.
No.
You had a better year than a lot of people.
Right.
Who are the 2 people that were better? Who are the 2 people that you said were better than you?
Only one I would say is Maurice Rice and Stoff.
Okay, Mustafa Shakur played for William Penn. What round did they lose in the playoffs?
First.
Okay, so William Penn, how many times has they competed when Mustafa Shakur was there? He was there for 2 years. They went out first round. You went to the championship. So now your scale works against you.
No, so
you telling me that somebody? Wait, hold on, wait 1 second. So Reese Rice, who lost in the semifinals, correct?
They lost.
You went to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't better than Reese Rice.
I didn't have a better season than him that year. And
My point exactly. I dropped the mic. There we go.
What do you mean? I can openly admit that's just
and that's fine.
No, hold on. And the fact that okay, he still went on and went to a public league final after that and won one.
We're talking about that year, Chip. I'm just talking about that year. We ain't even gonna walk this statement back. We're gonna say you said them 2 guys were better than you that year, and you went to the chip, and neither one of them went to the chip.
No. I thought you was talking about like overall in the
Who
public.
had a better year than you, Chip?
No,
Who's the best?
We
Who's the
go
best
on.
point guard your senior year, Chip? You heard me loud and clear. Matter of fact, we don't have to do this anymore. Can we go to the rookie ladder?
Yeah, this is our last question anyway.
Oh, we got 5 minutes left. We got to finish these topics.
It's that again, bro. You corny, bro. This shit meat.
All right, the Check Ride Podcast Rookie of the Year.
All right, right now, currently it's two. It's LaMelo Ball. It went from Maxey and LaMelo Ball to LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards.
It's that one.
I wouldn't worry
Okay, George.
too much about Maxey anymore. I think Doc Rivers going to pull him out the race himself.
I can't hear nothing.
Click yourself off. Click yourself off.
He can't click himself. I think
we having technical difficulties tonight with Chip, but it's okay. Right now, who we got ranking at a top 3 rookie?
I was supposed to say Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, and LaMelo Ball.
Wiseman still there?
Yeah, Wiseman. Why would he still be there?
He ain't played. He hasn't been playing.
And he's done for the season?
No, he ain't done for the season. He gotta come back with fire.
I mean, who's running away? Nobody's running away with it. LaMelo Ball had 4 good games.
Nobody definitely ain't running away with it. It's a race, man. It's a race.
He had 4 good games, and Anthony Edwards is,
yeah, it's a race.
It's the worst team in the league. So.
It's fun. It's actually a fun rookie of the year race because we got 2 guys that's pretty good, and I think one of them could possibly be an all-star. One of these 3 could possibly be an all-star and be really good.
I think all 3 of them could be all-stars.
Think all 3 of them could be all-stars?
Who? All 3 of them could be all-stars.
Okay.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards is good. Anthony Edwards just plays for a terrible team.
No, he good. He good.
Like, the dude is like, he's strong and everything. Like, he gonna be all right. LaMelo's good.
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with saying that. And Wiseman's good. He gonna get some run. Like, these dudes young, man.
They so young. But you know what's funny about being young now? Everybody young.
No, they still young. Everybody's not young, bro. Everybody's not young.
Giannis 24, 25.
Okay, these dudes are 18 and 19. That's what I mean. If you use Giannis is old compared to these dudes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by young. Like, they're young and can play. They're not the young dudes that we are. You see how they treat Maxey?
They treat Max like a kid.
Because he is.
He is a kid. He is a kid.
He can play, but there's certain things he ain't doing for Doc out there.
And they treat LaMelo like a kid. It's just,
well, but if you look at what they're asking LaMelo to do, LaMelo has adapted. They're putting him in there with both of those guys.
They put LaMelo in the fire.
He's playing, but he's also adapting to it. Because it was one game that they asked the coach why he didn't play. He was like, "Yeah, I know he passing the ball a lot, but you got to stick somebody."
Sixers don't have time to really put Maxey in the fire, and that's why I said that's why I tell everybody. That's why same thing I was trying to tell Chip. I said sometimes your career, especially early in it, like rookie years and all that, is situational because Maxey isn't in a situation where they can just let him out and let him go to the Wolves because there's expectations on Sixers. They're trying to win a championship.
We trying to win a chip. We ain't got time to be.
So and Maxey might end up in the latter years better than all these guys because he got to get more meaningful basketball possessions. So he's learning at a higher accelerated pace than the rest of these guys. That's the same thing I said with It's funny because this goes back to the G League and the college situation. Would you want a guy playing in the G League essentially showcasing himself or playing in competitive games in college and learning how to really compete? It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny to see what matures out the situation. Because I think the guys going to the G League probably are going to be top 10 anyway. And they just going to learn the game faster. But it's going to be funny to see and it's going to prove the fact that there's no – I always tell everybody –
there's a big difference between the NBA game and the G League game. And you say they're going to learn the game faster.
That too.
That game is not always the same.
That too. And I like the fact that the G League is putting those guys on the same team
And
because you put
I
them
would
dudes on
be,
the
yeah, but I would also be Calipari might got a better ready for the
right.
league thing. Now, you see what I'm saying? Like everybody from Kentucky gets to the league in balls. So who's to say that whatever he's doing?
Yeah, it's crazy because they're going to start pulling. They're pulling some of his guys now, and
But you
it's just
understand what I'm getting. But
yeah,
that's all I'm
yeah.
getting at. If he can do it in the college, it doesn't. I
There's
just
no
think
foolproof way to superstardom in the NBA. There's so many
there
different
you
ways
go.
it's going to happen.
I think that's what I was getting at earlier. Like there's still gonna be a dude that gets to the league from a junior college. There's still gonna be a
We still
dude
want
that
to
gets to
see
the league.
we still want to see the John Morants.
Yeah, there's still gonna be some dude, Steven Jackson. Like them dudes is always gonna
Tyrese
be there.
Halliburton. Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton. We're gonna see a lot. We still gonna see guys.
Apparently, this kid that goes to the University of Ohio now, that was at some little tiny school. His mom passed away. The boy grew to like 6'4". He the point guard now. They talking about he going in the top 10. You see what I'm saying? Like
It goes
basketball
back
weird.
to, it goes back to the he got game situation. Remember Don Pagnotti?
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. He said, "Yo, man, you figure?" He said, "Woo! I thought I had it all." He said, "You think you got it all figured out, kid? 6'1", all of a sudden, boom, 6 up to 6'7". He's a lottery pick, and you never know."
Yeah.
Anthony Davis. There's people who beat the algorithm of basketball because they try to set this algorithm in the 7th grade for these kids. They've been trying to do that for a long time, set this algorithm of these kids going to the NBA in the 7th grade, and there's always guys who are beating this algorithm. Trayvon Duval was supposed to be the man.
Yeah, he's not. So
And he's in the
before
we get out of here, we gotta do our
you're gonna go ahead and knock out the legend of the week. Legend of the week. Scooter's gonna go ahead and knock this out late. Well, I ain't gonna say late because he's still with us. But definitely the great Hakeem the Dream. So you got it.
Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest players to walk the face of earth on a basketball court, man. One of the dudes who actually, this is why I prefer the Brad Beal situation, because Brad Beal actually is trying to do something that Hakeem Olajuwon did. Hakeem Olajuwon sat with the Houston Rockets through the bad times and the good times. When he came in, he played with the Twin Towers. It was him and Ralph Sampson, and they were supposed to be the Twin Towers like David Robinson. They went to the championship, and their guards ended up leaving the NBA for different reasons. And they had John Lucas and all these guys like that, and they ended up leaving the NBA. And Hakeem Olajuwon held it down all those times. He went through so many different supporting casts, and he ended up being amazing. Him at University of Houston, he flew in here and literally flew into the wrong city and ended up in what city did he fly into first? He said it was cold and he got back on the plane.
Boston.
Yeah. And he got back on the plane and he went to University of Houston and he ended up there and they taught him the game of basketball. He learned the game of basketball as an adult. He came over as a soccer player. And it's just amazing seeing his career go the way he go. He was playing 35 minutes a night, which 37 minutes a night, sometimes 40 minutes a night. So the year he won a championship, he played 40 minutes a night, which is amazing. And he had this thing.
Always sticks out of my head because he had a quadruple double.
And he had a quadruple double. He did mad things. The one thing about Hakeem Olajuwon that made him so unique was that he does this thing that Ben Simmons does, and he filled holes where you didn't have that. You could have a 6'2" guard. You could have a 6'1" point guard. You got a 6'10" power forward. You could have a 6'7" small forward, because if your guy can't shoot from the outside, I'll make the mid-range shot. I'll step out, and that guy could play in the post. And my point guard can't pass. I can pass. You had this thing where he would tell Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith has a quote where he said, Olajuwon would tell him, he said, "If you switch with me, I switch for 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds and then switch back. I'll go get the other guy." He said, "Give me one." He said, "Just give me 2 seconds, Kenny. I'll go get him and him." And he would guard 2 players at one time. He stands high ranking on the all-time blocks list, all-time rebounds, all-time points, and he's high on the all-time steals list. Hakeem Olajuwon, salute to you. And also, he played amazing during Ramadan. I think his career high stats of months is during Ramadan. He's one of those guys that's just an amazing player, and the only guy that won a title in the Jordan era. The only guy that took, and I say the Jordan era was about, we could say Jordan took over the NBA 90. That's when he won his first chip. 90, that's when the Jordan era started. The Jordan era started in 90, and he took 2 in 94. 94 and 95. Jordan took one break. Huh?
Yep, 94, 95.
Yeah, Jordan took one break, and then Hakeem Olajuwon took them 2 years, took back-to-back titles. Houston. In Houston, that's unheard of. And currently, he still has the only titles that Houston has. So shout out Hakeem Olajuwon, man. Even Shaq said that's the only guy who he bows down to as far as a big. Chip, we doing the legend.
You already
You hear?
wrapped it up. We wrapping it up.
Y'all wrapped it up. It's all good. You
Oh,
still
Chip, my man Chip had technical difficulty today. Hey, Chip, give us one legend that everybody should Google before we get out of here.
one legend that everybody should Google before we get out of here. I'm gonna go with the great Moses Malone.
Okay. That's amazing because we just did Hakeem Olajuwon, and Moses Malone actually played for Houston and rocked out for Houston. Make sure you guys check out Hakeem Olajuwon and Moses Malone, y'all. We appreciate y'all for checking us out.
I got one for y'all.
Oh, we give you one we get DJ A Square chiming in one.
Everybody go look up Junior Bridgman.
Junior Bridges.
Junior Bridgman is my NBA legend for this week. Go look him up because he's definitely legendary. I messed both of y'all up with that.
I think I had him on my team on 2K by accident. I had him on a fantasy draft by accident.
Okay, I'm just enlighten y'all real quick. Y'all know who he is?
No.
I don't know yet.
Boy decided that after he got finished playing, because his basketball career was average.
I just did.
Yeah, the boy got like 800 million. He owned 80 Wendy's, a whole ton of other restaurants all around the country. Got a whole bunch of other businesses. This boy used to play in the NBA. And he's like the 4th or 5th richest black dude in the United States. So, yeah, I mean, we don't always get a Hall of Fame.
He said he got 600 million plus in the bank.
That's real. That's real N-words right there. That's a good one there.
Yeah, I gotta give y'all something to learn on too. You know what I mean?
Oh, hey, that's
Hey, I mean, you think about it this way. Also, to tie things in, what LeBron always talking about, being more than basketball. You talk about that too, Chip. Well, if this dude wasn't a good example of one of the first more than basketball boys, I don't know what it was.
So, definitely.
All right, though. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all check in with us next week. We're gonna drop 2 episodes. We dropped 2 episodes at one time. We dropped an episode 3 and this one today. We're gonna put that all up and post it as one time because I didn't even get to promote episode 3. So we'll basically have 3 and 4 at the same time. So
we gonna chop this one up. Just make sure.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna clear up these technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So we have minor technical difficulties, y'all. Y'all might be hearing this part and not even see the technical difficulties.
What? I don't even know what happened. This is crazy.
Anytime we working with stuff that we can't even see nor touch,
right?
We just open it. Come on, they keep saying it's the internet. We got to believe them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we can have technical difficulties.
Awesome.
All right, take us out.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 4. And we all telling y'all to have a blessed day and continue living it up. And also, we challenge y'all to continuously, what we say, Chip?
Check rock.
All right, y'all. Let's see y'all next episode.